Imagine a world where every sunrise paints the sky with colors you have never seen, shades that seem straight out of a dream. A place where the air is so pure that every breath feels like a renewal of the spirit. This is the Garden of Eden, a paradise beyond any imagination, where beauty has no limits and harmony is the fundamental law. In this magical place, every plant blooms in its full splendor. Fruit trees not only offer their fruits effortlessly, but also sing soft melodies when the wind passes through their leaves. Flowers open to the rhythm of the heartbeat of the earth, and their aromas fill the air with fragrances that elevate the soul. Rivers of crystal clear water flow with a serenity that calms the heart, and in their waters swim creatures of colors and shapes that we have not yet known. Adam and Eve, the first inhabitants of this Eden, lived in a deep connection with everything around them. They walked barefoot on the soft grass, feeling the vital energy of the earth beneath their feet. They could communicate with animals, not just understanding their sounds, but sensing their emotions and thoughts. Lions and sheep drank together at the same streams, and birds of the sky perched on human shoulders, sharing stories of their flights. If they had never eaten of the forbidden fruit, this garden would have remained humanity's home. Over time, Eden would have expanded not just in territory, but in depth and diversity. Mountains might have revealed hidden valleys filled with new life forms, and the seas would have shown paradise islands waiting to be explored. Humanity would have grown in number, but also in wisdom and understanding, gradually transforming the entire world into an earthly paradise. The ecology of Eden was a symphony of dynamic balance. Each species had its role, and all interactions contributed to the well-being of the whole. The seasons, if they existed at all, were gentle transitions that brought new blessings rather than challenges. Plants grew in symbiosis with one another, and animals participated in the cycle of life in ways that strengthened the health of the ecosystem. Disease and imbalance simply had no place in this perfectly orchestrated system. Agriculture, when necessary, was practiced with a deep understanding of the land and its needs. There was no need to plow or plant in the traditional sense, because plants grew where they were most needed and useful. Humans collaborated with nature, guiding the growth of crops through intuitive communication with the plants. The land produced abundance without undue effort, fulfilling the original blessing that the land would provide food for man. The relationship between God and humanity was one of a closeness unimaginable to us today. Adam and Eve could feel the divine presence in every beat of their hearts and in every whisper of the wind. They walked with God in the cool of the day, not as a metaphor, but as a tangible reality. They could ask questions and receive direct answers, learning and growing in wisdom and love. This fluid and direct communication was not limited to them. Their children and their children's children would also have enjoyed this divine proximity. Humanity's spiritual practices would have been rich and varied. There might have been communal gatherings where God imparted wisdom and guidance, perhaps in forest clearings where sunlight created mystical patterns on the ground. Worship would be a lived experience in every action, from harvesting fruit to creating art. The divine presence would be so palpable that there would be no need for complex rituals. Every breath would be a prayer, and every heartbeat a praise. The human population would have grown without the conflicts that often accompany increased population. Competition for resources would simply not exist because the abundance of Eden ensured that each new life was greeted with joy and sufficient provision. Families would live in close-knit communities, where raising children would be a shared and loving responsibility. Bonds between people would be strong, based on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. It is possible to imagine that humanity would have developed settlements that reflected the harmony and beauty of Eden. Dwellings might have been organic structures, integrated into the landscape without disturbing it. Perhaps houses built in the treetops, connected by hanging bridges made of living vines. Cities, if they existed, would be centers of art, music, and knowledge, places where people would gather to celebrate life and learn from each other. The arts would have reached sublime levels. Music might have been a combination of natural sounds and human creations, using instruments made of living materials that resonated with the environment. Paintings and sculptures would capture not only the external appearance of things, but also their spiritual essence. Art would be a form of deep communication, a way to express emotions and concepts that go beyond words. Education would be a continuous journey of discovery. Children would learn by exploring the world around them, guided by mentors who would help them understand the wonders of creation. There would be no tests or grades. Progress would be measured by personal satisfaction and contribution to the common good. Learning would be multidimensional, encompassing the intellectual, the emotional, and the spiritual. Science would be a celebration of God's handiwork. Humans would study the stars, not just to understand their chemical makeup, but to appreciate their beauty and the role they play in the vast tapestry of the universe. Biology would be an opportunity to connect more deeply with other life forms, understanding their cycles and needs. Physics could reveal the fundamental laws that keep the cosmos in balance, inspiring wonder and gratitude. The technology developed would be a natural extension of human understanding of the world. Rather than dominating nature, we would seek to collaborate with it. Renewable energy would not be an alternative, but the norm. We could have developed technologies that harness natural forces without depleting them, such as devices powered by the movement of leaves or starlight. Transportation could be ways of traveling that respect and even enhance the environment, such as vehicles that float without disturbing the ground or the air. Governing structures would be communities of wise people, where decisions are made collectively and with deep consideration of the implications for all living things. Leaders would be chosen not for their ambition, but for their wisdom, humility, and commitment to service. Justice would be restorative, focused on the well-being of all rather than punishment. In this sinless world, disagreements would be opportunities for growth and learning. If misunderstandings arose, they would be resolved through open dialogue and empathy. People would be willing to listen to and understand each other's perspectives, recognizing that each individual brings a valuable piece to the community mosaic. The absence of death would redefine the human experience. Without aging and disease, people could pursue long-term projects, exploring interests and passions without the pressure of time. Relationships could deepen over centuries, allowing for a level of connection and mutual understanding that is hard to imagine today. With an ever-growing population, God could have provided creative solutions. Perhaps space and time are more flexible than we understand, and Eden could expand into additional dimensions. Perhaps humanity would have learned to travel between worlds or planes of existence, exploring new frontiers without harming the original balance. The relationship with animals would be one of collaboration and mutual respect. We might have developed the ability to communicate with them through a form of telepathy or deep empathy. Animals could share their knowledge and perspectives, enriching our understanding of the world. Together, humans and animals would work to maintain and improve the balance of nature. Free will would remain an essential aspect of human existence. Each individual would have the opportunity to choose to live in harmony with God and creation. These conscious choices would strengthen character and deepen the relationship with the divine. Obedience would not be a burden, but rather an expression of love and respect. Although the serpent represents the possibility of evil, its influence would be minimal in a world where humanity is firmly aligned with God. Temptations could exist as tests to reaffirm our fidelity and grow in wisdom. The community could support each other to overcome any challenge, sharing experiences and advice. Knowledge of right and wrong would be passed on through teaching and observation. God could show humanity the consequences of evil without them having to experience it directly. This would allow for a deep understanding of morality and ethics without the suffering that comes with sin. Communities would gather regularly to celebrate and worship God. These celebrations could include festivals where music, dance, and art combine in a collective expression of gratitude and joy. Worship would be a vibrant and participatory experience, strengthening bonds between people and with the divine. Recorded history would be a tale of continued growth and exploration. Without wars or disasters to interrupt progress, humanity would accumulate knowledge and wisdom exponentially. Advances in science, art, and spirituality would build upon one another, leading to levels of understanding and capability we can only dream of today. The evolution of human consciousness could open doors to extraordinary abilities and insights. Perhaps we would develop forms of communication beyond language, such as telepathy or collective intuition. We could influence matter and energy in ways we now consider supernatural, but which in that context would be natural extensions of our understanding of the universe. Without current limitations, humanity could explore the universe in its entirety. Interstellar travel could be possible, not only on the physical plane but also on the spiritual plane. We could establish contact with other forms of intelligent life, sharing knowledge and experiences in a cosmic community. Angels and other celestial creatures would be daily companions. Their presence would be a constant source of inspiration and guidance. They could collaborate with us on divine projects, helping us understand and fulfill the highest purpose of creation. Humanity's purpose would be to co-create with God, actively participating in the expansion and beautification of the universe. Each person would discover and develop his or her unique gifts, contributing to the common good and the divine plan. Creativity would be a driving force, and every act of creation would be an expression of love and connection with the divine. Existence would be characterized by deep joy and satisfaction. Work would not be a burden, but an opportunity to contribute and grow. Rest would be a rejuvenating experience, and play a celebration of life. Fatigue, stress, and dissatisfaction would have no place in this world. The paradox of freedom in obedience would be clearly understood. True freedom would be choosing the good without being tempted by evil, which would free the individual to reach his or her full potential without the shackles of sin. Obedience to God would be seen as an alignment with the natural flow of the universe, allowing for a full and fulfilled existence. Life would be a canvas on which each person paints with the colors of his or her talents and passions. Together, we would create a collective masterpiece that reflects the diversity and beauty of humanity. Each individual would be valued for his or her unique contribution, and success would be measured in terms of harmony and collective well-being. Rather than being a redeemer, Jesus could have come as a supreme teacher, exemplifying the divine nature and teaching humanity to deepen its relationship with God. His teachings could have led humanity to even higher levels of understanding and unity, expanding our consciousness and capabilities. His presence would be a manifestation of the possibility of the divine fully inhabiting the human. He could show the way to a more complete union with God, inspiring all to reach their full spiritual potential. Although humanity would be united in its relationship with God, there could be diverse cultural expressions of spirituality. These differences would not cause divisions, but would enrich the collective experience. Different traditions and practices would allow for a broader appreciation of divine nature, fostering respect and celebration of diversity. Philosophies would develop to explore deep questions about meaning, existence, and the nature of reality, not from doubt or skepticism, but from curiosity and a desire to understand more fully. Debates and discussions would be opportunities to expand collective knowledge and wisdom. Older generations would share their wisdom and experience with younger ones in a continuous flow of knowledge. Education would be holistic, catering to intellectual, emotional, and spiritual development. Elders would be respected and honored for their role in guiding the community. The absence of limitations would allow for constant innovation. Ideas could be developed and applied unhindered, leading to breakthroughs in fields we are only just beginning to understand today. Research in areas such as consciousness, energy, and matter could reveal secrets that transform our understanding of the universe. The body would be seen as a sacred temple, and its care a form of worship. Food would be a conscious experience, enjoying the flavors and nutrients that the earth offers. Exercise and other wellness practices would be done with intention and gratitude, maintaining optimal health and a deep connection with one's own being. In the case of imbalances, healing would be achieved through natural and energetic means. Humanity would have access to knowledge on how to balance body and spirit in a harmonious way. Medicinal plants and other forms of healing would be available and understood by all. Humanity would act as wise and caring stewards of the planet. Agricultural, industrial, and urban practices would be designed to maintain and improve ecosystems. Collaboration with nature would be the basis of all human activities, ensuring the sustainability and prosperity of all life forms. Connection with nature would be integral. There could be an intuitive understanding of the needs of the environment, allowing for actions that favor biodiversity and planetary health. Humans and nature would not be separate entities, but interconnected parts of a living whole. This allows us to imagine an idealized world where humanity lives in perfect harmony with God, with itself, and with creation. Although it is a hypothetical scenario, it invites us to reflect on our own lives and societies. What aspects of this ideal world can we strive to achieve in our reality? How can we foster harmony, justice, and love in our communities? By considering these questions, we can be inspired to work toward a better future. By learning from this vision of what could have been, we can apply its lessons to what can still be. The essence of this tale is not just to imagine a lost paradise, but to motivate us to create a world closer to that ideal in our present. Ultimately, the story of Eden reminds us of the unlimited potential of humanity when living in alignment with the divine and nature. Although we face challenges and limitations in our current world, this vision offers us hope and direction. It encourages us to cultivate wisdom, compassion, and creativity, and to work together to build a more harmonious and sustainable reality. We may not be able to return to the Garden of Eden, but we can sow the seeds of a new paradise here and now. Every act of kindness, every effort to understand and respect others, brings us one step closer to that ideal. In our hands is the power to transform the world, to turn our communities into reflections of that perfect harmony. The call is clear. Let us live with intention, love without reservation, and work together for a future where beauty, justice, and love are more than dreams. They are the everyday reality of all. If you have a different point of view, you can leave it in the comments. If you liked it, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. See you in the next video.